Welcome to the Brie Pod. I'm here with me, Brie. So, one of the biggest questions that has popped up is, has endometriosis left? Or do I still have it? What happened to the endo? So, endometriosis, as you know, is something that I've had for a very long time, but I did not officially get a diagnosis until August of, I believe, 2019. I think. The only reason why I forget is because I feel like the years just go by pretty quickly. I am now pregnant, which is actually a very good thing for someone that has endo, because it can either hinder you of having a baby, or there are people that are able to have babies and endo. I was not sure what way it was going to go, because as you remember from when this whole thing started, I was having infertility issues for about 5+ years. And now, 2 years after a laparoscopy surgery in Boston, I'm pregnant. I do feel that the surgery had helped in many ways. I don't know if I wouldn't have got the surgery if I would have still been trying or not. Not really sure how that works, but I'm very grateful that it worked out the way that it did. Now, the thing about endo is it doesn't actually go away, because they're like lesions on the uterus. So the only reason why I don't feel the symptoms at this time is because when you have your period, you when the blood is shedding, I believe that's how they say it, that's when it basically, it's not infects it, it's where you feel that pain. But because I've been pregnant, I haven't bled, so I don't feel that pain right now. I still have side effects of endo, and I guess now this fibroid that I did not know was there, from like, there's still painful sex, like that. But as far as endo, the pain when I was, cramping and having my period, has not been here, which has been kind of nice for a break. The only downfall is that after this pregnancy is over and my body decides to have a period again, it can either come back really hardcore, it could come back lighter, like that, not as painful. Well, when I say come back, it's there the whole time, but the pain level. Or, I could feel a little bit better. And the reason why I say this is because there is no research or proof that endo is cured by pregnancy. That it's said it can help, but it's not like a cure. It's just like birth control. When they have you take it for endo, it's like a hysterectomy. Just because you get those things done does not mean it is a cure. Just like the surgery, because they may not be able to get all the lesions out. There's the microscopic ones that they may not be able to see, and it can grow back. And the reason why hysterectomy also doesn't really work as well is because if it grew in other places outside of the uterus, like the small intestine, basically it can grow anywhere but the spleen, then they didn't, then that isn't a part of a hysterectomy. So with that being said, is endometriosis gone? No. Scientifically, the endo is not gone. How will my body react after pregnancy? Now that is another story. And I'm very curious myself, kind of scared, because as you know, endo is, well, you may not know, but it's very painful. And having this break has been nice. But at the same time, it's not just say that pregnancy is easy either. So at least there's that, I guess. But it's not the same pain. So there's a lot of pros and cons to it. So scientifically speaking, endo does not leave when you're pregnant. A lot of people think that. The symptoms may get better, stay the same, or worse after baby. But the endo just doesn't go away. It's just not, from, I guess, the best way that I understood endo, and I don't know if this is the fully accurate, so don't take it with the best way that I can describe this is basically the tissue that you do shed, I guess. It actually grows on the outside of your uterus. Now, when you have your period, normally the blood has a way to get out. But where endometriosis grows is on the outside. So it creates these little lesions that when you bleed, it has nowhere to go. And then it irritates those lesions, and then, you're in pain. And then because it has nowhere to go, that's how the endo process works. I don't know if that's the greatest example, but that's how I've understood it. The thing about endo is it's just there's so much unknown about it, and then there's so much that's out there that it's just like, even to this day, even with a name to it, I still learn about what it is. Why do we get it? One of the things is that they don't know why women that have endo get it. Just like most chronic illnesses out there, they don't know why it happens. Or some they do, but it just takes a long time to really learn about it. And the medical field, I'm sure has a hard time catching up with everything that's out there to help us. And so that's why it's also hard ciphering through the misinformation and what is accurate. So with everything I said, please take it with a grain of salt, because I'm still learning about it, and I've had it for many years, but the actual diagnosis for two? I don't know. I'm horrible with timing right now. So with that being said, to answer that question, like I said, endo, it doesn't really go away, but it doesn't mean that the symptoms can't come down. I don't know what's going to happen for me. I don't know what's going to happen to the fibroid that they told me that I have either. The whole time I had no idea that I even had fibroids. I didn't learn that until really this pregnancy. This whole time I just thought I had endo. But I did learn that it's possibly due to pregnancy. I guess women can develop fibroids pregnant. That's like a potentially normal thing. But I also know that in my family, fibroids is actually it is something that has occurred. So yeah, it makes me kind of wonder what is going to happen in that route of my life after pregnancy. Will I have fibroids now? Will the endo be stronger in pain? Will it be the same? There's a lot of questions that are unanswered in that sense, but it hasn't gone away. And on the 9th of August, we get to see the baby again. And that's when they're going to check the fibroid, see if it grew. Hopefully it didn't. At this point in time, it's the size of a quarter. It's in a position where it will not affect, at this point in time, labor or the pregnancy. So I'm hoping that we'll get more answers then. And we're just going to keep an eye on it. And then after pregnancy, I'm obviously going to need to do, another checkup in the realm of endo and now fibroids, and just see kind of what happens. I feel like it's been a learning experience for sure. My body has definitely given me a run for my money. but I'm thankful and grateful for the people that I have met along the way, because had I not gone through the process that I did, like I said a while back before COVID, I would have had a botched surgery, and who knows what kind of cleaning up or fixing could have been done if I would have went down that route. Um, so in some aspects, I am thankful for the COVID shutdown, because I was going to get this surgery purely because I was frustrated. I wanted a quick answer. I wanted a quick fix. I wanted to be pregnant so bad. And I think it's important that when it comes to your health, there are 3 pieces of advice that I would give, especially being down the route of the bunny hole of trying to figure out what was wrong with me for this long. And I've been to many doctors, even the gastro doctors. Even the allergists. I went everywhere. Number one, I would say, is do not give up on yourself. There was a point in time where all the doctors, I even had second opinions. I gave up for a couple, I want to say months, even maybe a year, because I was just tired of being told it's anxiety, it's just a painful period, it's all these things. And it's not to say that anxiety didn't play a role. Anxiety is going to play a role regardless. Anxiety is going to play a role because you don't know what's going on and you're wondering what's happening to your body. Not to say that anxiety isn't a trigger or stress isn't a trigger for things, but it's going to play a role, especially when you don't know what's wrong and you're trying to find out and you're getting gaslit by doctors. And it's not their fault. They didn't understand. But don't give up. Keep researching. The thing that definitely saved me were friends, that and family members, people that said, "Hey, why don't you talk to this person?" or "Why don't you join this group?" That's what helped me really learn about endo. I joined a group and I was like, wow, I have all these symptoms. Like, this is literally everything that I've complained about. So I had that, and then I learned the difference between laparoscopy surgery, and then there's another one that starts with a D, but I can't remember what it is. But I learned the difference between burning the endo lesions off in a surgery versus taking them out. Like, I think just like scraping them out or something, like pulling them from the root, quote unquote. There's 2 different ways, and the burning, both ways have worked for people to a certain degree. but the burning does not make it go away, just like the pulling it from the root can, but it could also grow back. So there's a lot of things. That's why there's not really a solidified, this is what will stop endo. This is what will take it away. And for some people it works. And then the thing is to remember, everybody's body is different. So one woman's experience is not the same as another's. Well, not just women, but I use women as the example since we would be the ones that get endo. Otherwise, in other medical ways, same thing. Our bodies are different. So the second piece of advice that I would give is, just because one doctor tells you something does not mean that you have to follow what they say. Trust your gut, trust your body, trust your intuition. If you feel that what that doctor is telling you is wrong, you are allowed to get a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth opinion. You're allowed to do that. Because at the end of the day, I think we kind of put sometimes people of professional backgrounds, such as the medical industry, on a pedestal. And we think, well, they're a doctor, they know everything. And I'm not taking out doctors. So I'm not saying that, there's things that they say that aren't true. There are. You've got to be able to decipher between, is it my intuition or am I stubborn? I mean, there are things you can tell between the two. But when it's your intuition, you just know. You just feel it. You're like, no. So with that being said, we put people on a pedestal in the medical industry, and we think, well, they're a doctor, they know, so I will follow exactly what they say. Even when your gut is saying, no, 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 no. And that's what happened with me with that almost botched surgery. I did not have a good feeling about that guy. I did not feel he really listened. Yet I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt because he was a medical professional. Then I was speaking to my aunt, and she was like, you need to trust the person. You want to feel like you trust them. You want to feel like they hear you. And if you're not being heard, leave. And so I still, giving the benefit of the doubt, scheduled the surgery because I thought, no, I'll just do it. He's probably not that bad. My intuition's probably wrong. Well, luckily, it was canceled for me. I did not cancel it. And when I told this to the doctor that I actually trusted and learned about, and I actually gave me the reference to them, she told me how that surgery would have been horribly wrong and would be in a bad position, and she would have had to undo what was done that she may not have been able to undo. So when I tell you from experience, trust your intuition, trust even with the signs that you're getting from other people that are like, hey, are you sure? Just trust it. If you feel it's off, it's most likely off. I believe we were given instincts for a reason. And then the third piece of advice is, if you need a support group and you don't have that, if you don't have family that support you, because in the endo world, in the Crohn's world, in the IBS world, in all of the chronic illness worlds, there are family members that do not believe their family member. Because they either don't know about it, ignorant to it, or don't understand or don't want to understand, or they think you're just making it up. And if you don't have that support system, it can make it very hard to want to find the answers and help. So what I would say is if you cannot get that support from your family, there are support groups out there on Instagram, on Facebook. There's text groups. There's even medical forums. There's so many places where there's so many people that are in your boat that want to support you. And I would say to go to them, especially when you are on your hunt for what's wrong, to find the solution or even just a name of what it is. So that would be my 3 pieces of advice when it comes to the medical world and trying to find out what is wrong. And this is from 10 plus years of experience. The reason why I share and continue to share my story is because I know that there are so many people out there that are suffering, that are in the shoes that I was in 10 plus years ago, right now, that are being told inaccurate statements, they're being given inaccurate test results, like not test results, but what, their prognosis, what they think it is, the diagnosis, what they think it is. And they're going and spending a lot of money on all these doctors that don't have the research or tools to even know what's going on. It's not to say, again, I'm not bashing the medical field, because the medical field has also helped me. The medical field is how I was able to get a surgery. The medical field is how I'm going to go in and deliver this baby. Like I appreciate the people that are out there that help. And I know that they're struggling. I know that they have a lot on their shoulders, a lot on their plate. So I'm not saying go out there and go on the blame tour, but I am saying that you have every right to stick up for yourself. You have every right to ask for your records. When you sign those papers for HIPAA, you are the person signing for your own records, unless you're young. But you are the one that's signing for them. You are the one that's saying this person or this group can see it, or this person or this group cannot. Or this is what's allowed, or this is not. It's not that they own your records. Do they have your records? Yes. Can they keep them on file? Sure. But they don't get to tell you where your records go. If you need to give it to somebody else, they don't get to, they can give you attitude, that I've heard that they'll do. They can be like, don't go to them, blah, blah, blah. But they cannot deny you your own medical records. Now, sure, there's certain paperwork you probably have to fill out if you are not physically able to get them, but do not let them tell you that you cannot get your paperwork. I've heard that before, and that is not factual. Just look up HIPAA, look up what it protects and why we have it. So with that, I wanted to share this episode because it's been a while since we've talked about endo, which is not great on my part because I really want to continue to spread that awareness. But also, it's important to know, I wanted to answer that burning question because I know a lot of people get confused and think, oh, well, you must be healed. Not exactly. I am one of the lucky ones, I'd say, in the sense that I do have endo, but it's not flaring while pregnant. Now, there are people that have endo that still have a bit of pain even pregnant. So there really isn't a cure yet. And I say yet because, maybe in due time, research is going to show us a form of a cure. So, I look forward to that when that does happen. So with that, you are loved, you are worthy, you are cherished, and I am proud of you. Until next time on the Breed Pod. Bye.